One of the most shocking headlines of the year, and I'm not being sarcastic. The Twins are not for sale. I repeat, the Twins have been taken off the market. They have been owned for 44 years? They sold for 44 million, I think 40 something years ago, to the Pohlad family. They have pulled the plug on the sale of the team via press release. They're bringing in some limited partners. I'll summarize for you, or I'll give you a little bit, I guess. After a detailed and robust process, the family will remain the principal owner of the Twins to strengthen the club in a rapidly evolving sports landscape, one that demands strong partnerships, fresh ideas, and long-term vision. We are in the process of adding two significant limited partnership groups, each of whom will bring a wealth of experience and share our family values. Also from the Pohlads, we see and hear the passion from our partners, the community, and Twins fans. That passion inspires us. This ownership group is committed to building a winning team and culture for this region, one that Twins fans are proud to cheer on. Scott, take it away for us. Okay, I'll take it away for you as your hired PR, your fake PR. Back in 2023, when we won a playoff series, yes, a wild card series, but a playoff series for the first time in a very long time, like 2 decades, our commitment to you after that new ballpark that we made the city pay for was to cut payroll by $30 million. Then take a year to think that you were going to get a new ownership group that was actually going to take care of you, fan base. We even teased you at the trade deadline and sold away 40% of the team. And then what did we do? We rugged you. 2 weeks later, we rugged you, baby. We're keeping the team. We sold half the team. Payroll is freaking rock bottom, and we just made a whole heap of money from minority investors. How'd I do, AJ? You think I'm going to get hired?
You're probably not going to get hired by him, but you told that that's what basically happened. I mean, it is what happened. And let's not forget, they were what, 400 million in debt. So by getting rid of Carlos Correa and some of the other players, they probably saved some on the debt. They get minority owners to come in and cover that debt. They're back to zero, and Joe Pohlad can still own the team. Like, that was one of the big sticking points. They said, remember, they were going to sell him, but they were like, oh, Joe Pohlad has to stay on board as something important. And I think the Ishbios were like, no, we're going to start over. And the Pohlads were like, nope, we're going to pull the team back. So we're going to keep it. Listen, I know a lot of people in Minnesota. I started my career in Minneapolis. Great city, great place, great baseball fans. But it's just, it runs its course, right? It's time. If you're not going to invest in the team enough and continue to invest in the team, then it's time to move on and get your $2 billion and move on. Why do we want to keep doing this? Why? That's all I want to know. Why do they want to keep doing this?
I was just going to say I was going to rank it as one of Scott's best soliloquies of the year. Maybe of all time, because it was spot on. And I hope out of all this conversation, the one idea it said was a fresh ideas from this new capital group that's coming in to infuse some money. I hope they bring fresh ideas. I hope they have a long-term, what does it say? Long-term vision. I hope there's a long-term vision, because any team that buys some or gets some good graces with the city and then sells players and then gets good graces and sells players has no long-term vision. Long-term vision. Look at the other teams that have lasting success. If that's what you really want, I hope that new group coming in has that. Fresh ideas and an actual long-term vision. Because ultimately then the Pohlads will make money, which I think is really all they care about.
Dan Hayes wrote an article. He's dialed in on this whole sale attempt and failure to sell the team, or at least to a majority owner, right? Which is what we all thought was going to happen, including the commissioner of baseball, if you believe him. But anyway, Dan Hayes said, though the team drew the interest of multiple limited partnership groups, nobody with the financial wherewithal to purchase a large chunk of the club emerged. Despite messages that the sale was progressing with multiple interested parties, the sources suggested the Twins were having difficulty attracting potential majority owners. I'd like to know.
Overpriced. That means it was overpriced.
What the price was, because I bet you there were people that were interested in buying the team that said, this ain't worth it. And then they said, well, then we're not selling. And then they said, cool, we'll wait for something else to open up, whether it's in baseball or otherwise. You don't get whatever price you want. I understand that there's scarcity. There's a limitation to this, and it could be an awesome asset to own, right? I mean, look at them. They bought it for 44 mil, and they're trying to sell it for 1.7 bill. And I am telling you, every single soul in that city that likes baseball and likes the Twins is desperately crying for somebody else to take over this team. Every single soul. I'm telling you, it is by far the biggest story. And it's why I gave the Twins an A at the trade deadline. I'm like, hey, if this helps clear books and get a team sold or the team moved over to another ownership group, great. Now it's an F because it didn't happen. And if we believe that they're holding true on this, AJ, and that it's not just a little bit of chicken with a potential investor, then this is a travesty for the city of Minneapolis. There's no other way to state it.
Yeah. Listen, I played for the Twins for 20 plus years ago. And at that time, we were one of the low market teams, low budget. And they just said, we just need a stadium. We just need a stadium. They got the stadium. They start putting money in. The team is rolling. The team is selling out at Target Field. And Target Field, if you haven't been, is one of the best ballparks in the league. I'm sorry. I love Target Field. It's awesome. It's right on top of you. It's built straight up. It's a great place, okay? And then they win a playoff series, and they say, we're cutting payroll. What? When a chance in the AL Central now, let's not forget, the AL Central is very winnable for every team if they do it right. And then again, this past year, they're like, we're cutting payroll even more going into the year. And then at the trade deadline, they trade their whole team away. And now they're like, we're not going to sell the team because we got out of debt and we're going to start over. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I know you can't make someone sell a team, but man, the Twins fans again that are there are not happy today because they want a new message, a new life, a new anything for the Twins. And I don't know when it's going to come because they just don't seem to want to be able to do that.
They made it like it was a lock too. That's what's bothering people as well. This has been going on for about a year. And let's go back 1 month. Commissioner Rob Manfred said that a process was in place. He said, essentially, there will be a transaction. It's not a matter of if a deal for the Twins can be struck, but when. And here's another direct quote. I know some things that you don't know. I can tell you with a lot of confidence that there will be a transaction there, and it will be consistent with the kind of pricing that has taken place. There will be a transaction. We just need to be patient while they rework. End quote.
There was a transaction. They added minority ownership. He was right. But here's some. I think you said this, Scott, on our pre-call before the show. How many owners were like, hey, you want us to pay a lot of money and there might be a work stoppage after 1 year? Why would we buy it now? Why don't we just wait a year until there's a new CBA? I can't argue that. If I'm trying to go buy a team right now and I know a possibility in a year I might have to sit out for a long time and not make any money, wouldn't you wait too if you have enough money to buy a team? Wouldn't you just wait until that's done and then you can jump right in and start making money the way you want to?
Well, there's two sides to this. Yes, most would wait because they don't like question marks, especially major question marks that could cost the team a lot of money if they do actually hold out for a long period of time when we go through the lockout process a couple seasons from now. But AJ, the other side could say, sure, you can wait, but we're going to try to sell the team. So if you want to wait, you might not have this team. So then you don't care enough. And if you want to wait for another team, go for it. Right? So it is a two-way street.
But Scott, apparently everybody did that because if somebody would have stepped up, they would have sold the team, right? So I mean, what I want to know is how much of this, again, it goes back to, remember when they said the Ishbias were supposed to buy this team? Everyone thought the Ishbias were buying this team. And then don't forget, they were like, whoever buys this team, Joe Pohlad has to stay a part and an integral part of this and that. And like all these stipulations, you're selling the team. You don't get stipulations, right? You're selling the team. If Joe Pohlad has to go find a different job, then Joe Pollad's got to go find a different job. I'm sorry.
Kratz, tell everyone why they need to look into a virtual private network, aka a VPN.
It's kind of like wearing trousers. It keeps everything private and secure whenever you venture out.
That's good. That's really good. And Surfshark creates user-friendly privacy and security solutions to protect your data and your privacy online. It enables you to virtually explore the globe, browse privately by encrypting your internet activity, and block ads and malware that may disrupt your experience. So go to surfshark.com/foul or use the code FOUL at checkout at surfshark.com to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. It's a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee, and the FT fam is hooked up with 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN when you sign up at surfshark.com and use the code FOUL. It is time to take control of your online security. Try Surfshark today.
The thing for the Twins is that this team was building up, got to that point in 2023, and they're like, all right, here we go. We're going to have something special. We're in our winning window. And then they immediately retreated. And I think that there was some forgiveness if they actually went through with what they said. And now we are literally back to square one.
Literally back to square one. You gave the city hope, but the players gave the city hope. This was a great window. Look at you can go down the roster of who they had, and they just did it all based on a money transaction. They broke the team down after the success was there, after like they should have been in the playoffs last year, all this stuff. This has nothing to do with like, I just don't see this as our window. This is just a money. And the Pohlads have moved high up on the list of brutal owners of teams. And my question is, off this topic, is the CBA, obviously owners want to push for the salary cap, and that's what we've heard. Does the value of the organization go up if a salary cap's installed? Does it go down? Because the Twins have to spend money then. They're not at the floor. They have to spend money, but they're going to be getting a big influx of money in too. So does the value go up as an organization?
Right.
Yes,
so
it goes way up.
Yeah, it's going to go way up. They're going to bring salaries down.
Exponentially up.
They're banking on that, right, AJ? And we know where they're voting.
Yes.
They're going to vote to miss as many games as possible.
Oh, they trust me. They want to take. Yeah, listen. Owners that I don't want to say all owners but a lot of owners want a cap in baseball because they know what they're going to spend and they can set their budget, and whatever they make over that number, guess what? They get to keep it all. So they don't have to put it back, and they can just go to the fans. Well, we have a cap. We can only spend so much, right? But then owners like Stevie Cohen, the Dodgers, the Yankees, sometimes the Red Sox, when they want to, they can say, well, we can spend as much as we want. So the fans can't complain then and say, well, our owner doesn't care. But if they have a cap, then it limits the certain teams to say, well, we can only spend so much, guys. Sorry, we did the best we can. Oh, and we still made $200 million over our $150 million cap. Oh, no, whereas before we'd have to spend $250 and only make $50 million. Oh, no, poor us, right? That's why all these owners want a cap. Let's not get it confused.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this obviously has some funny components to it with all of the BS and the lying and the quotes that have come out over the past year. But it also is devastating for the city. It really is. You have no control over this whole process, and it's very difficult right now for many Twins fans out there to continue to show up and continue to support the team. It's real, right? It really hurts. This is the ultimate gut punch.
Rally around Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton wants to be there. He said it. He said that much. And as a player, he's realistic. I assume he's realistic. He ain't getting no help. They're not bringing anybody in. You got to grind through this. Byron's like, I spent my whole career trying to stay healthy. Now I'm an all-star, healthy. I told the city I want to be here. Oh, and my boss says, that's cool, thanks, but baseball thing's probably not going to work out for us here.
Yeah, I mean, he was using all the buzzwords, the revenue, the payroll. It's so tough. I have to do the tough stuff and run the business. Oh, I feel so bad. It's so hard. So hard to run a team. I mean, I'm looking back at the quotes over the last couple of years. They're atrocious. They're atrocious. And again, the only reason why the whole world wasn't ripping them even more than they already were was the fact that there was a promise that this was going to be it. I actually legitimately thought, AJ, that the downfall from the playoff high of 23 and the next 24 months after that truly led to them saying, you know what? This ain't worth it anymore. My family legacy is all about this. This is really negative. This sucks. This is what I'm going to be known for. Cash out and leave.
I thought you were. I agree with you, Scott. I thought after the vitriol of the fans of last year and last year I thought was bad. This year was even worse because of what happened. I thought that's why they were selling the team. And when you have the commissioner come out and say there will be a transaction, I know more than you, nanny, boo boo. I know more than you do, right? We all know you know more than we do, Rob, because you're on the inside. You work for the owners, okay? So let's not forget about that. But when you come down and say the Twins are going to be sold, not if, but when, then people are like, yes, we finally get a fresh start. Now it's like, nope, just kidding. We're going to keep the team and keep you guys. Basically, it's like I don't want to say a hostage situation because it's not like that, but that's like the analogy that comes to mind, right? The Pohlad family has the Twins, and they're like, oh, there's a lot of baseball fans in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the Dakotas, Iowa that all go to Minneapolis for games. And they're now like, well, we have the team, we can do whatever we want. So I don't know. It's a weird situation. It's an interesting situation. I just wish it was a different situation.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. And yeah, as far as the commissioner goes, either he was kind of playing the game with everyone else on the Pohlad family side so that they could try and bargain, right? And say, hey, we've got interest, something's going to happen. Or he legitimately thought that they were going to sell. And then the Pohlad said, yeah, it's my damn team, I'm not selling. So either way, the whole thing is just a bloody mess. It is a bloody mess in Minneapolis for baseball on this day. Twins fans, we're here for you. That's all we want you to know. We're talking about this the way it should be talked about.